Mr. Eggplant presents.
Hey guys, Tyler here, and thank you for checking out this video. And I hope that you guys are enjoying the War Within so far. We're about two and a half weeks into the expansion so far, and I am absolutely loving my Marksman Hunter. I've been hitting those heroics, slowly starting to work on my PvP gearing. I've been working on my professions, and they've just really made a lot of things pretty smooth. I really enjoyed the questing experience and all the different types of quests that we've had here in the War Within. But at this point of the preseason, I would expect maybe we see a few changes here and there, or maybe in a couple of weeks after the first week of raid, when you have the first wing of LFR, you have Mythic Zeros, and you have normal and heroic. Maybe you see some changes, but we're already seeing data mine class changes, and there's a lot of them from 11.05, which will be a future patch. It's hitting the PTR soon. I'm just assuming this is probably going to come out in maybe November or so to line up with the 20th anniversary of World of Warcraft. I could be wrong, but that's probably when this stuff is going to hit. And there's a ton of changes, including changes to some of our talents. We're actually gaining a talent point, which I always appreciate in the Marksman Hunter side of the tree. But also, Dark Ranger got a complete rework. We'll talk about it in just a second. There's going to be two sections of this video. First section is going to be looking at those data mined class changes and giving you guys my thoughts. And then we'll go and look at what some builds would look like using the class point calculator. And the links to these write-ups will be found down in the description of the video. And then before I really dive in, I will have an update video each and every week on my Marksman Hunter journey if you guys would like to check those out here on my channel. I'll be talking about items that I'm shooting for, the different crafting items, like how I'm going to work through my power creep, how I'm going to either, hold an embellishment or hold my spark usage, that sort of thing. And then just how my progress has been in raid, where I can improve, things I've learned on my hunter, and then when we get into Mythic Plus, just talk about Mythic Plus, and then I'll obviously share my vaults with you guys, so I hope that you guys will check those out. All right, so some of these talent changes. Previously in Dragonflight, or actually even just before Dragonflight, it was whenever you had a precise shot proc after using your aim shot, it would cause 1 to 2 of your next arcane, multi, or chimera to be precise shot procs and do more damage. Well, they made it baseline 2 at the very beginning of the War Within, which is currently in the game, but it's soon going to just be 1, but it's going to be increased damage, 100% increased damage instead of just 70. So with calling the shots, it didn't change, but its position did change because they did change the bottom of this tree here just a little bit. It was a diamond before, and now it's just straight down because they did get rid of Eagle Talon's True Focus. They baked most of it into your normal true shot, which was a welcomed change because they had actually had to update Eagle Talon's True Focus to facilitate using our tier set bonus for the first tier of this expansion, but now they just added the reduces the focus cost of aim shot by 50% into true shot, which I appreciate. They don't have the additional 3 seconds, so that was removed. Death Blow has now been moved over here to this side of the tree. So now, because this was an improved kill shot, and now it's just Death Blow, so you have another damaging, like a fairly good damaging node over here on the left side of the tree, and then over here, this was added as an improved Death Blow, so it'll have an improved effect there. So this was actually going to be really good, because you couldn't have Death Blow in single target or in AoE in Mythic Plus, but now you can. So this will help you when you're in an AoE build. You'll have a little bit more single target damage, which will be good for Mythic Plus dungeons. And we're going to see a lot more Death Blows because they've really added Death Blow as kind of like a key word, if you will, if you're a Magic the Gathering fan, to the way Dark Ranger works. And it's honestly looking really, really good right now. So whenever you are a Dark Ranger Marksman Hunter, Black Arrow actually takes the place of your kill shot, and it gives you that 80-20 zone. We'll talk about Dark Ranger in more detail in a second, but we're going to have an 80-20 zone again, which if you guys remember, that's the way Careful Aim used to be. So you would do more damage with aim shot above 80% health and below 20% health. So that's coming coming back. Death Blow and has just been moved around. One of those huge changes I've been asking for so long is improved steady shot, where that shouldn't be a talent point. I still don't think it should, but what they did is very, very good in my opinion. So now steady shot does just give you 10 focus, just baseline. But now if you pick the talent, improved steady shot, it now gives you an additional 10 focus, meaning every time you use your steady shot, you get 20 focus, which is going to be really nice, and everything else stays the same. That ability is now going to be on a choice node with pin cushion. So you have to choose from these, but I'm going to be picking improved steady shot, where steady shot reduces the cooldown of your aim shot by 2 seconds. So that's one single charge getting its cooldown reduced by 2 seconds. There's that precise shot proc change that I talked about, where it does 100% now instead of 70%, but you only get one of them. Totally fine. We're seeing some more changes to Rapid Fire Barrage, a boost to damage, 25% increased damage there. Or technically speaking, it's a 10% overall, but it's doing a third more damage than it had been. But it's still only 40% effectiveness. Still not really going to be picked, unfortunately. It's going to have to not be 2 points, because it's still 2 points, and it really needs to be better in single target to make it worth ever picking. It's a fun ability, and I wish it was picked, but it's just not going to be picked right now. Just saw a little bit of slight changes with the wording of readiness and that sort of thing there, with generating additional wind arrows. Steady focus saw a huge change, and this will probably just be baseline now in your build for single target or AoE, because it's now that 8% haste steroid, but you just have to cast it once. And we're already having focus issues, so improved steady shot helps with the focus issue because you're getting basically double the focus. Then, on top of that, every time you use it, you get a haste buff of 8% for 15 seconds. That's literally doubling my haste right now. Like, I have not 8% or 9% haste right now in with a 584 item level. Like, I don't have 0 gear. So it allows us to continue to do that crit mastery build while having extra haste into our build. And don't forget, Rapid Fire is also going to be giving us that in the rhythm 8% haste as well. And then I talked about True Shot, where now they just baked that 50% less focus in there. It's going to be a flat 15 seconds now. And Unerring Vision moved, and then Volley became a straight ranged ability, so you can't use it. They just kind of changed the verbiage, and it requires a ranged weapon now. I won't talk about Beast Mastery or Survival. That is not my expertise at all. But I do want to talk about Dark Ranger. So, Dark Ranger in the beta, we asked for it. We needed help. It needed help. It felt half-baked. It wasn't all together. You could definitely tell that Sentinel was just going to be the choice because, it's super easy. It's completely passive, and it does damage, where Dark Ranger didn't really do damage. It had an active, and on top of that, the active didn't do a ton of damage, and it actually made your rotation really, really crappy. Like, it just caused a log jam when you're trying to do the most damage possible with your True Shot. So now they have completely reworked the tree. So now Black Arrow just replaces your kill shot, and it has that 80-20 zone, like I said. So you can cast it whenever the target is above 80% health and below 20% health. You have a Banshee's Mark, which was added here. It's going to be obviously for both Beast Mastery and Hunter. So it's just going to be your Black Arrow's initial damage has increased your chance to summon a Murder of Crows by 25% there. And then, which is a dot that will do a little bit of damage. You have Bleak Arrows, which is going to be very, very strong, because as a physical caster, which Beast Mastery, which their pet still does a lot of it, but Beast Mastery and Marksman Hunter are the only physical casters. And when armor goes up on bosses throughout an expansion, our damage really goes down because of it. But now, with the way Bleak Arrows works, it will allow your auto shots to do shadow damage, so that will bypass armor, and then it has a chance to give you Death Blow. You're going to see that a lot. You have Bleak Powder here, so casting your Black Arrow while Trick Shots is active causes Black Arrow to explode and dealing 100% of attack power as shadow damage to nearby targets, so that'll be a little bit some bonus AoE, and if I'm not mistaken, yeah, that one you just get, so that's good there. We have a couple of new abilities, Ebon Bowstring and Dark Chains. Dark Chains is basically just a Sylvanas flavor ability, and it just puts a 40% slow until they move 8 yards away from you. Ebon Bowstring that's the choice node, right? I think that's the choice node. Yes. So Ebon Bowstring is just going to cast Black Arrow, has a 15% to give you Death Blow. It's another Death Blow keyword. Again, keep counting those. Yeah, Phantom Pain here. When aim shot damages a target affected by Black Arrow, 5% of the damage is replicated to each other unit affected by Black Arrow. That one is, I believe that is a choice node as well. I'm sorry. That is the choice node with that Ebon Bowstring. So I'll be running with the Ebon Bowstring should I be playing a Dark Ranger Marksman Hunter. You have Shadow Dagger, which is an option where it means you'll do a little bit of damage with your Disengage, which is again a Sylvanas flavor ability. Shadow Hounds is just a small chance now instead of it being a 10%. It procs about 3 times a minute to give you an idea. And then you have other changes like the Bell Tolls, Soul Drinker, and then Shadow Surge. Soul Drinker will just give you another Death Blow keyword there. So every time you're doing something, you almost have a chance to get Death Blow. And the Bell Tolls is the one where it gives you that 80-20 zone as well. I kind of jumped ahead there. But the big change, more than all that, is with Withering Fire, which is our ultimate ability for the build, I should say, the hero talent build. So, while your True Shot is active, you surrender to darkness. If you would gain Death Blow, if you get that Death Blow keyword, while under the effects of Withering Fire, so for that 15 seconds, you instead instantly fire your Black Arrow at your target. Instant. No, so again, off the GCD, and 2 additional Black Arrows at nearby targets at 50% effectiveness. And this will help with getting more of those dots out whenever you're trying to proc one of these other abilities that was up here, which is the Phantom Pain. So it would kind of depend on how many of those you could get out and how quickly to make Phantom Pain worthwhile. But this is so nice. They've helped you with focus regeneration. They have given you the ability, they flat out made your Black Arrow replace your kill shot. So anything that's going to augment kill shot should, in theory, augment your Black Arrow. And you take it off the GCD when you're going to be proccing it the most, which is during your True Shot. This is going to be nuts in PvP too. I've got to just say that. I'm already thinking about what Arena would look like and trying to abuse it as quickly as possible. But this is some really great changes. This is going to see, I don't know, I haven't seen like damage wise to see how it's going to look because I haven't hit the PTR yet. I don't even know that this is officially live to test on the PTR, but this is so nice. They've looked at the key concerns that the community has had and said, hey, causes a logjam, take things off the GCD, have it just straight up replace something, which they've done, and then that nice touch of you got that Sylvanas flavor, but the ability for your auto attacks to now do shadow damage, that is nice. That allows you to have a more varied damage profile in your kit. So we're doing, bleeds. We're doing a little bit of fire damage. We've got our physical damage. Bleeds are physical, but you have poison. You have shadow. You have a bunch of different schools of damage that you're doing, much like the way the old survival used to be, which is very still near and dear to my heart because I do really love Cataclysm Survival Hunter. But now let's go ahead and check out. There was also a few changes just to the general tree with the Steady Shot, for example, improved Kill Shot, and then just some different tuning abilities and changing the verbiage. But let's go ahead and take a look at what a build would look like. So I'm not going to do the left side of the tree just because hardly anything has changed. That main change is going to be to Deathblow being here instead of being over here. But I'm gonna wait on Dark Ranger. I'm gonna look at a single target build first, and then we'll do an AoE, and then I'll look at Dark Ranger real fast. So, okay, so the main changes here, so we get a bonus point down here to spend, because we would have had to spend a point on Eagle Talon's True Focus. And then we have a choice node up here now, between Improved Steady Shot and Pincushion, and everything else for the most part has changed, or stayed the same. So let's go ahead and take a look at a single target build first. So you're going to, obviously, our goal is to get down here to calling the shots and readiness. So point in rapid fire, precise shots, surging, streamline, penetrating shots, and then I'm going to be picking Improved Steady Shot currently and Master Marksman. It opens up the next little line there. And then Steady Focus. It's significantly easier to get that out. It makes it much smoother because Marksman can be clunky, particularly with low amounts of haste. And then you're going to put your point in Lock and Load, and then Serpent Stalker's Trickery. I'm going to hold off on Tactical Reload just for now, and then Bullseye. And now let's move to this side of the tree. So Fan the Hammer here, Careful Aim. You're going to put your point in Improved Deathblow, and then Killer Accuracy, and then your Night Hunter, which will then open up your Lone Wolf and In the Rhythm. From here, I need to spend one more point. So that point can go into Tactical Reload or Hydra's Bite. I am definitely going to be choosing that Tactical Reload there. And from here, I can do True Shot, Unerring Vision, Calling the Shots, 2 points in Legacy of the Windrunners, 1 point in Wailing Arrow, 1 point in Readiness, and 1 point in Razor Fragments. Now I have 2 whole points to spend. So you could put that point in Crack Shot. You could put that point in Hydra's Bite, even on a single target build, it's still going to increase the Serpent Sting's damage by 20%. So that you would just need to sim and figure out if putting the point in Hydra's Bite will be worth it versus putting maybe 2 points in Focused Aim, for example. But for this build right now, I would put 2 points in Focused Aim. It's going to increase the damage of our aim shot and rapid fire by 5%. I really don't think this is really worth 2 points, to be honest, but I understand why they have it there as 2 points. I would really like to see it just 1 point, and then that would allow you to run with Hydra's Bite, but I'll take this build right now. So this would be what a single target build would look like, and I will put the build strings down in the description of the video as well, if you guys would like to check those out. And then how it would look was a Dark Ranger Hunter. Obviously, you get all these abilities. Between Phantom Pain and Ebon Bowstring, I'd pick Ebon Bowstring, then pick up that Banshee's Mark there, and it does add that Murder of Crows damage into your build as well, which is, again, completely passive, which is always a good thing. You have your Withering Fire there, and then you're going to pick between Dark Chains and Shadow Dagger. I don't really like the fact that it does damage now, just because you're going to feel like you're going to have to use your disengage to do damage, and then you might not have it up for priority, like, oh crap moments. Just something to think about. But then you'll have your Bleak Powder here. It's going to choose between Shadow Hounds and Soul Drinker. I want more Death Blow keywords there, so it would be Soul Drinker for me. In between Embrace the Shadows and Smokescreen, we're going to be doing a lot more shadow damage. So this would be most likely going to be Smokescreen for now. And then as the expansion would go on, it would probably be Embrace the Shadows. So I'm going to go ahead and pick Smokescreen for now. And then Shadow Surge. This would be a very, very competitive single target build if you are wanting... this is, again, without doing like numbers behind it, this would be a very solid build. And now let's go ahead and take a look at an AoE build here. And again, this is all just kind of theory crafting. Let's go ahead and, what am I doing? Reset. There we go. So now let's go ahead and take a look at an AoE build. So aim shot, then you do rapid fire, multi-shot, and precise shots. And then I'm going to pick up my trick shots. I'm going to wait on everything else until I fill out the rest of the tree. And my goal is to get down here to salvo and calling the shots. Then surging shots, streamline, and penetrating shots. Then I'm going to pick up Fan the Hammer, Careful Aim here, and I'm going to hold off. Then I'm going to come over here. I'm still going to pick my Improved Steady Shot. It's still going to help us tremendously in Mythic Plus. And then I'm going to pick Master Marksman, Lock and Load, Steady Focus, super easy to do now, so definitely going to pick that up. And then your Serpent Stalker's Trickery, you're going to pick your Volley, I'm going to pick my Bullseye, and then I need to get to Lone Wolf. So I'm going to go ahead and pick my Tactical Reload or my Night Hunter. Actually, let's do Night Hunter for now, because that's going to open up in the rhythm, and then put my point in Lone Wolf, and that opens the bottom part of the tree. From here, True Shot, Unerring Vision, Calling the Shots, 2 points in Focused Aim, 1 point in Small Game Hunter, and 1 point in Salvo. This gives us 3 more points to spend. You guys see what I see? So, you can, the way this works, you can now do 2 points in Legacy of the Windrunners and Wailing Arrow. This gives us the chance to have Wailing Arrow in AoE. Particularly with the revamped Dark Ranger build. To what you have to sacrifice from that, though, is Bulletstorm, Tactical Reload, a potential ammo build, and your Hydra's Bite. So that's something that you need to consider. And then we'll have to just see damaging numbers to see if it's really worth it. But it gives you the option, and that's what's important. Because we just flat out didn't get the option. We had to sacrifice Salvo to make it happen. Where now, we can at least do that. And in fact, does this allow us to... Okay, it doesn't. Good. I was going to say, I'm like, does this allow us to actually pick up all 3 of these? It doesn't. But you could pick those up if you wanted to, where you could pick your 2 points in Legacy of the Windrunners and 1 point in Wailing Arrow. I'm going to go ahead and fill these in again here real fast. So I have 3 points. Technically speaking, you have several flex picks. You could put a point in Bulletstorm, you could put a point in Tactical Reload, Hydra's Bite, Crack Shot. You could put your 3 points in Legacy of the Windrunners and Wailing Arrow, or put a point over here in the ammos. Unless you're pulling big, the light ammo is not worth it if you're pulling more than 8 targets. So I would put my point in Bulletstorm, Hydra's Bite, and Tactical Reload. But you could easily put that point in Crack Shot if you absolutely wanted to, but keep in mind in AoE or Mythic Plus, you're not going to be casting Arcane or Chimera Shot nearly as much. And then here in the middle, you're going to pick your arrows. Again, you'd have to figure out how many dots you could get out to see if Phantom Pain was worthwhile. Otherwise, it's probably going to be default to Ebon Bowstring to give you more of those death blow keywords. Banshee's Mark, Withering Fire, and I'm going to continue to put my points in here. I'm still going to go with the Soul Drinker there, and then probably Smokescreen and Shadow Surge. For an AoE build, if you want to play a Dark Ranger, this is a very, very solid build as well. It does all the things that we need, so get down to Salvo, get down to Calling the Shots, but we do have the flexibility if we wanted to. You have to sacrifice a lot, but you finally have the ability to play a Dark Ranger Marksman Hunter, have an AoE build, and have a single target build that can use Wailing Arrow. And that was something that made no sense why you'd have a Dark Ranger and why you have this Sylvanas flavored hero spec, and then you can't pick Wailing Arrow for half the build without sacrificing like way too much. But what do you guys think? I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Leave me your feedback down below. I'd always appreciate hearing that from you guys. I think they did a pretty good job, and I can't wait to test this out on the PTR. I will be testing that out, probably not as much as I did beta stuff, but I will be hitting the PTR, see what's up, and see if we can make Dark Ranger viable and more fun to play, because more options is never a bad thing, in my opinion. But I hope you guys consider subscribing to me here on YouTube, or following me over at Twitch at twitch.tv/Mr. Eggplant. I've got a Chiefs game to go finish, or at least finish the second half since I started recording this instead. But thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.